Hey gang, I just finished the recording and I forgot to mention to check out the show notes, check out the podcast Facebook page for photos of the coffee drinks and reference links to the coffee shops I mentioned. So, forgot to mention it. All right, let's go.
Welcome to JimJim's Reinvention Revolution podcast, the show that explores reinvention in the digital age as it relates to career, creativity, and technology. Stay tuned for interviews with professionals, entrepreneurs, and creatives that have reimagined success and are making a pivot. If you'd like to listen to the entire back catalog, visit JimJim'sReinventionRevolution.com for instant access. And now, here's your host, JimJim.
Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Hey everybody, hey, this is JimJim. Welcome to episode 122 of JimJim's Reinvention Revolution podcast. And today I'm bringing you a special episode. Yes, this is a special travel episode where I'm talking Vietnamese coffee. Yes, Viet coffee. So I just got back from Vietnam. I'm still here in Asia, in Bangkok here at the hotel this morning, recovering from the trip a little bit. And unfortunately, I'm drinking hotel room coffee. And the coffee is just black, and the way I brewed it, it's got a French press in the room here, which is very old, and the screen on the bottom is got holes in it and stuff. So there's a lot of grounds in my black coffee right now, which is really making me wish I was still in Vietnam. Give me 1 second here. Okay, take a sip to keep this episode going here. But before we get to the Vietnamese coffee, I want to remind everybody, you know how I like to do, that PodFest Asia is coming up. That's one of the reasons why I'm here. And that's coming up April 1st in Manila, the Philippines, in the city of Manila, and at the One Ayala Center. It's a one-day event. I think it kicks off at 9 in the morning, 9 to 5, something like that. If you're interested in checking it out, please do. Maybe I'll see you there in person. And this year, I'm actually presenting. So yeah, I am presenting. Let's see, what's the title of my talk again? I should get it together. I need to practice it this week. It's called Mic On, Fear Off. Mic On, Fear Off. So trying to help podcasters, inspire you to get going and start your podcast. So it's Mic On, Fear Off. 7 simple ways to prime your mind for podcasting. Yes. So you see how I do, I always talk about how you need to prime your mind for reinvention. Well, I think similarly, those techniques can help you get going with your podcast. So that's what I'm going to be talking about at the conference, April 1st in Manila. So see you there. Just a little shout out to that. Shout out to Chris Kromitzos and Aya Schlachter and Ron Butang, I think is his last name, for pulling it all together there. And Sunstar, of course. Sunstar newspapers or communications out there in the Philippines. Go home. You know who I'm talking about. All right. Anyways, let's get on with the episode here about the coffee. Man, the coffee in Vietnam is amazing. So finally figured out a way to get to Vietnam this year. And for those of you who are not familiar, you need to, if you're a U.S. citizen, I guess, I don't know about others, but you need to sign up for a visa in advance. So it's an e-visa. It's an easy process, but yet you need to know information up front, and you got to find the right link. There's a lot of bogus third-party links out there. You got to find the right direct link for the Vietnamese government. Fill out your information. It'll take them maybe a day and a half to process, and they'll send it back to you, and then you'll have your little document ready to go when you fly over there. I just took a screenshot and kept it on my phone. And when you go through immigration, show them the visa. Anyways, that's how you get over there. One more sip of coffee here. Oh my gosh, I wish I was back in Vietnam. Okay, so I really didn't appreciate how intense the coffee scene was in Vietnam. I've heard of Vietnamese coffee before, and I thought it was just sort of a sweet thing, or whatever. But there's a few variations over there that I discovered once I got there. So I'm going to go through them all here. I got 5 to talk about, and I'm ranking them out of 10 from worst to best. Okay, So I'll give you some recommendations. I'm just sharing my experience. I know there's probably hundreds, maybe thousands of coffee places there to choose from, but these are the ones that I stumbled upon. So I dropped into Ho Chi Minh City, otherwise known as Saigon, or previously known as Saigon, still continuously known as Saigon, but also Ho Chi Minh City. And I was staying downtown close to the walking street. So for those of you that haven't been there, there's kind of a wide plaza walking street, and there's shops and coffee shops, restaurants and coffee shops, and all kinds of stuff retail on either side of this plaza, and it leads up to the statue of Ho Chi Minh himself. And then the statue is in front of this big building. Gosh, I should know what this building is, but I don't. It's not the Opera House. It's a big government building of some sort, historic building. And it was a beautiful scene there, and everybody kind of goes and hangs out there at night, has coffee, among other things, and just chills out and socializes and just hangs out. It's really fun, actually. So I was staying close to there. So these are the coffee shops I found in the downtown area. Okay, so let's kick it off with number one here. And the number one was the first coffee that I had was called salt coffee. I'd never heard of this. They call it salt coffee over there. And this is a coffee shop I found walking along Walking Street. So kind of on that boardwalk area. Just walking down the Walking Street, and I saw, hey, there's a cool little kind of kiosk stall coffee shop. So it wasn't any big deal. And they had salt coffee. And then someone had mentioned that, oh, have you tried the salt coffee yet? I'm like, no, I don't even know what that is. Salt coffee. So the way they make it is it's basically an espresso shot in the bottom of a glass. And then on top of it, there's a real foamy white, I guess it's just whipped milk that kind of is foamy white. And it feels like the consistency of marshmallow fluff, believe it or not. And that was on top. And then it was salted on top, actual salt. And then I think they might have had some cocoa powder. Or no, I think this one maybe was just salt. Anyways, and I got an iced version. And I got the small version. And it only cost 20,000 dong. Yeah. And if you're not familiar with the currency of Vietnam, it's known as the dong. It's kind of funny. And it was 20,000 dong, and that translates to 78 cents. So it was just a small coffee. I'll tell you what, it was okay, and it was so small. It had a bunch of ice in it, and it kind of tasted kind of as you thought it would. Sort of, if you had like salted caramel flavors or whatever, more popular in the U.S. or around the world. It's just basically kind of a latte type taste with salt, with a salty taste to it. I thought it was interesting, but out of 10, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. So that was my salt coffee experience. But what made it 10 out of 10 was I was hanging out on the walking street and watching people watching. So that was fun anyways. But that was my salt coffee experience. Okay, that was number one. All right, number two, let's see. My second to the last ranked coffee was I stopped at this place called, and I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of the place on the boardwalk there. That small little shop. This next spot I found was a coffee place, and this is one of their bigger coffee chains. I would say it seems like, anyways, in Ho Chi Minh City. It was called Catinat, Catinat, Catinat Saigon Coffee. Of course, in Vietnamese, it's probably pronounced and sounds different. And that was right on the corner. Kind of in the downtown area. This is a couple blocks away from the walking street, more in the downtown area. And I stopped and I got an avocado latte. And it looks like this place, Catinat in particular, specializes more so in the sweet and flavored lattes, bubble teas, all those kinds of things. But this was a coffee version. It was an avocado latte. And it was a nice, beautiful green color. And when I got it, and it had some cream on top and had some little, I'm not sure what it was, toasted peanuts or something on the top. And it was green color, and it was kind of a smoothie consistency. Anyways, I sat down in front of this shop, which is part of the Vietnamese street culture. Everybody kind of just hangs out in the street, sits around. It's very cool and chill and relaxed. One of the things I really liked about Vietnam. And so I got to drink it, and they had on the corner there, and they had these low, kind of beach chairs, just small, low, beach chairs that sat low. So you really like chilled out and relaxed. So I just was drinking on the street. Actually, called my buddies back home, and because we get together and have coffee quite often. And I'm like, man, you guys should be here. This is fun. Anyways, but in terms of the overall experience of that one, it was pretty good. Not bad. It was a little better than the salt coffee, I thought. Of course, the street experience was great, but I'm giving that one an 8 out of 10. All right, we're moving up. Let's go for the next coffee here on my list here. So this is the third one I experienced. So one day I went and had lunch at this place called Ciao Cafe. So just like Italian, Ciao, Ciao Cafe. And this was right on the corner on the main strip there by the walking street. And it was beautiful, just cool, kind of middle of the road Vietnamese food restaurant. So I had some kind of rice dish with beef, some kind of stir-fried beef with rice. And then I had some of those spring rolls that with the shrimp in them and the peanut sauce. It was beautiful. Really good food. But I decided to order what's known as an egg coffee. So this may be the most famous style of Vietnamese coffee. It's called an egg coffee, which I had no idea even existed until I got to Vietnam. And this is where they take, I guess, a raw egg and they whip it up and they put sugar in there and they put some flavorings in there, whatever flavor you order. And it's kind of a custard that sits on top of the espresso shot. So there's an espresso shot in the bottom of the glass, and that custard sits on top, and they serve it to you in a warm water bath. So there's like a plate underneath with warm or hot water in it. And they put the cup of coffee, the custard on top, in that bath water. Not exactly sure why that is. One of my friends suggested that maybe it's for health reasons or safety reasons to keep the custard warm or something like that. I don't know if it has something to do with that because it's raw egg. Anyways, if someone knows why they do that when they serve egg coffee, please let me know. You can send me an email. Anyways, so this flavored coffee, it was pandan flavor. So it was a beautiful green color. And I'm telling you, it's just amazing. And you get these little spoons, and you can spoon down to the bottom and get some of the espresso, and then bring it up through the custard, and then you can kind of slowly spoon it into your mouth. Just amazing. Coffee's amazing. The coffee's got like a little bit of this funky bitter bite that's kind of unique to the Vietnamese coffee I found, and with that sweet egg custard, pandan flavor, beautiful. So this one was really, really, really nice, I thought. I gave it a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10, yep. That's right. Okay, I got 2 left. 2 coffees left. Remember, the salt coffee, 7 out of 10. The avocado latte, 8 out of 10. The pandan egg coffee, 9 out of 10. Okay, we're getting serious now, folks. All right, when I first got there, I think it was the night I got there, I had a harried experience. Oh my God, I'm remembering now what happened. I forgot my passport coming through. When I landed in Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City airport, Saigon airport, I forgot my passport on the plane when I deplaned. And I was freaking out, and they wouldn't let me go back and get it. And so I had to not argue with them, but like kind of just, talk to them and find the right person. I'm running around like a madman, outside immigration. Please help me. I left my passport. They're like, well, let me see, whatever. They're calling people, whatever. Anyways, they were able to find it. And, but they made me wait. I couldn't go through immigration. And I was waiting for hours. I don't know what was going on. I really thought they probably lost it or were selling it on the black market or something. I don't know what happened, but it wasn't until over 2 hours later where I'm just basically have to wait and trust them because I don't know what else to do. that my passport finally shows up and they give it back to me. I have no idea why it took so long. I think they were screening it or putting it through their security process. Who knows why it took so long, but I was kind of freaking out. I thought, well, maybe they're going to ship me back to the United States directly or something. I had no idea what was going to happen. Anyways, forget about that. So, but I get into Ho Chi Minh City and check into the hotel. I'm kind of beat, whatever. It's like, well, I'm going to go out and walk around in the evenings, maybe like almost 10 o'clock at night, around 9:30, I think it was. And I find this place, and this place, I'm telling you, this place is a legend. Okay? And the name of it is Trung Nguyen Legend. And the way that's spelled is TrungNguyen. I think that's pronounced Nguyen, very common name in Vietnamese. Trung Nguyen Legend Coffee. This was a couple blocks into the city. I was kind of just finding my way around. And I had no idea what I was going to get. But I thought, you know what? This coconut coffee thing looks amazing. Let me try that. I love coconut. And this was literally like I was kind of floating on air when they brought this thing out to me when I tasted it for the first time. Okay. So they bring it out and it's got like a light greenish color. There's like a you know how if you order like a frozen margarita? So this was an iced coconut coffee. So it had a tall glass and it was greenish color and it was like this iced, like frozen margarita consistency, iced coconut flavored sweet stuff with toasted coconut chips on top. So they're kind of like brownish in color. Then an espresso shot on the side. And then a piece of, I think it was coconut candy on the side. I wasn't sure exactly what the flavor, but it tasted like coconut. And so you're able to pour the espresso over the top, and it's hot, and it kind of melts into that smoothie mixture, that iced smoothie mixture. And then again, you have these little spoons so you can kind of scoop it out to start. And it was just unbelievable. I'm still like having fever dreams about it right now. It was just like, man, it's so good. And, it just really hit the spot after my, kind of harrowing experience getting through customs and finally making it to the hotel and all that. So that was worth heading out and getting out of the hotel. It was amazing. And you know what? I give it 10 out of 10 for sure. 10 out of 10. Okay. All right, so I got one coffee left. This is coffee number 5. And believe it or not, it was back at the same place, Trung Nguyen Legend. This place is a legend for a reason. I loved it there. It's got a really cool sort of black and white design interior. They do a lot of quotes. Actually, let me look up this quote here because they have a lot of interesting quotes and messages placed around the coffee shop there. And here's one from the philosopher Montesquieu, however you say that. His quote is, "The coffee shop is the only place where grand plans and utopian dreams are made." I love that quote. The coffee shop is the only place where grand plans and utopian dreams are made. And I could see why they were talking about that, because while you're sitting there drinking this coffee, it just takes you to another place. So anyways, by after the first night, I kind of got my bearings, and I realized that there was this egg coffee thing they were talking about. I'm like, well, I never had one of those. So actually, the first egg coffee I had was at Trung Nguyen Legend. Glad it was there first. So I ordered just a regular egg coffee, whatever that meant. So it wasn't flavored with anything. And again, it comes out, and it comes out in this warm water bath. And then again, the glass is sitting in there, espresso shot in the bottom, this warm egg custard on top, and it was just white, I believe, whitish yellow maybe, and of course it was sweet, and it's just beautiful. A little spoon, and this was amazing. I really like this flavor. It was, I would suggest actually maybe just getting the straight up egg coffee. The pandan was great, but that turns it more into of kind of sweet, drink that kind of takes your mind other places, if you know what I mean. This was more focused on the coffee flavor and coffee itself. And again, it's just sort of like, your mind wanders when you're having this kind of experience that's just intense and beautiful. So it was just great. Of course, 10 out of 10 also for that one. So those are my top 5, or my 5 coffee experiences in Vietnam. There was a couple more actually, because I went on a tour, and of course they're always serving Vietnamese milk coffee. So I had a couple more, but just basic ones. But those were the top 5 kind of special ones that I took time to kind of investigate and have a little coffee tour for myself. Anyways, I just wanted to share that. If you haven't been to Vietnam, it's definitely worth it just to go for the coffee. But also just for the chill atmosphere. Ho Chi Minh City is a pretty nice city. Food was great. I got to go to the Mekong Delta area, take a little tour over there, and drive a boat around, go to some, let's see what it was, a coconut candy factory and a bee farm, and pretty interesting. Just see some of the countryside and get out of the city for a minute. Anyways, that's all I got for you now. Just wanted to share that with you. For people that are listening to this and are in Asia or close to Asia, I'll see you in the Philippines April 1st for PodFest Asia. That's all I got for now. Until next time. Thank you for listening to JimJim's Reinvention Revolution podcast. If you want to hear more, join our mailing list at JimJim'sReinventionRevolution.com. See you next time, and remember, the revolution has just begun. So dig in, embrace the process of reinvention, and start realizing the success you've always dreamed of. Hey revolutionaries, if you enjoyed today's episode and today's guest, let them know by commenting on their Facebook page, finding their Twitter handle or Instagram feed, and letting them know you heard them on JimJim's Reinvention Revolution podcast, and tell them what you got out of the episode, what you really liked, or how they inspired you. I know they would get a kick out of it and will help others find the same value that you found.